Here she is. Needs a bit of a tune. Bit of a loping idle there. The paint has faded a little bit, but if you polish it enough, it'll look more like that than that. It's got a few dings around the place, most notably this one. And this one here, it's when the door swung open one night and connected with a fence. I do have a spare door for it, and I also have a spare bonnet, although this one isn't too bad. That could be painted. But the spare bonnet is in the same colour, and it looks more like that than that. It's had quite a lot of modifications. The head's been rebuilt with the hardened valve seat, so it runs fine on unleaded petrol. Heavy duty battery. That's one of those programmable electronic distributors. Things like the under bonnet lights from a Rover SD1 and other silly things. Got an electric fan, bigger washer bottle from an XF Ford Falcon. Alloy rocker cover looks nice. That's an aftermarket heater valve. The original ones are located by the driver's foot and have a habit of leaking and scalding your feet while you drive along, so that isn't a problem anymore. The carburetors have been rebuilt, although haven't been tuned properly. Little flame traps there. The radiator, a few years ago I was given a new old stock 2-core radiator, so it's practically mint. I've always changed the coolant, always changed the oil. Let's look on the inside. It's leather seats from a 2500 PI, front and rear. I put some speakers in, although they aren't wired up yet. All the wiring's been done for them. Vinyl painted the door trims so they look a bit nicer. Oh boy, how I searched and searched for a mint steering wheel which doesn't have all the vinyl coming off. And these are pretty rare. The boss here that says Triumph and not 2500. I did not want a 2500 one because this is not a 2500. It does have a 2500 dash though. The oil pressure gauge, which matches the others, is from a TR6. It's done 325,000 Ks. You got switches here for the electric fan and other things. Got the clock that works. Oil temperature gauge with the right sender unit from Series 1 Range Rover, and a voltage gauge as well. Overdrive gearbox. Also has a 4:1 ratio diff, which works a lot better with the 2-litre engine because they like to rev better than the 2.5. Altimeter, don't know why I put that there, I just found it in a junkyard. That still work. Town and country horns, of course, because why not? Just scare the possums and things. The choke, so this is now the heater. The choke's over here, and an old timer told me that you're supposed to have a choke that you can fiddle with while you're turning the key, so you don't over rev the motor. So that makes more sense than, of course, originally it would be there. The glove box is fine. It's the wash sheet that passed. Don't know if you can see it there. Oh, come on. Yeah, that'll work. Oh heck, what else? She drives well. She'll be tuned up. It's road legal. It's not a pretty car, it's not mint, but it's pretty sorted mechanically. The diff whines a bit. I've got 2 spare ones that go with it, and heck, it's sounded like that for the past 5 years since I put the short ratio diff in. You like the exhaust blips? I quite like the black paint on the roof. Hopefully other people do. So she's a bit of a mess. It can come with the original size wheels as well, and the hubcaps that it had originally. Spare carburetors that I couldn't be bothered. Well, I halfway rebuilt them, and then I found another pair that had already been done. Sunshade, and a few other things. I was going to put the battery in the boot, but never got around to finishing the cables. And that's it for now. Oh yes, of course, the mags are from the 2500S, because they look a lot better, and you can get much better tyres. In fact, a guy that rallied one of these Triumphs recommended the tyre size 195/60 R14. It's far better than the balloons the 13-inch balloons that they originally came with. Current rego, reserved, well in this case for the right owner. And that's about it.